You know what's another game you're talking
Crazy.
about longevity? Another game that people play all the time is Rust. That's another game that just always
Yeah,
has variations. It's that open world, survival MMO
I
RPG.
have Rust. I have it. I've never played it with anybody.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's definitely a game for your particular taste, Jay, because you love to troll people.
I wouldn't call it. See, I grew up in a different time before most of these kids when you'd play like an MMO game or an open sandbox game, and if you died, and this is where you and I differ, Mike, is where you die. There's that grind up to get your stuff again, and I'm the type of person, if I can take advantage of the situation, I'm going to with a friend, or if it's in the game and I'm allowed to do it, I'll do it. So like if it's a completely open sandbox game like Rust, Gator and I obviously are going to, if we played it together, right? Online, we would trick other people into getting their stuff. And if we had to murder them, I wouldn't hesitate in Rust. In the real world though, it's a different thing. These games give us those, options to do that.
Gives us that outlet.
Gives us the outlet. It's kind of like the movie The Purge, but not really, because any normal person is not going to go out and grief and murder and steal from other people. But it's just when that's in a game and it's done correctly, there's nothing that can beat it.
That's reminds me of DayZ also when that game first
Yeah,
came out.
DayZ, another
Interesting.
game.
Oh man, you would spend 3 days
Tape up
gearing
some
up your
Tarzan?
guy. You'd spend 3 days gearing up your guy, and then you'd get in a gunfight, and my heart would be jumping out of my chest because of how much was on the line. Like if I get clipped, if I get a headshot right here, I lost 10 hours of progress. And then,
And
then you start on the
another
beach
thing too,
naked.
Dave. That's another thing too. Is this the gamble that you're making? The risk versus reward in games. It's just they don't do it as well as when they used to for a lot of the open
True.
sandboxy with multiplayer capabilities or features.
There's very few permadeath games anymore that
Yeah.
where you lose your stuff, like Jay was saying, where you lose your gear.
I
If
mean,
you
I'm
Yeah.
a very
die.
niche crowd for gaming. Like the normal gamer would not like those the hardcore or sweatiness behind it, but sometimes if it's a good product, I can get behind it.
Yeah, because you used to
True.
play Ultima Online, right, Jay?
Yeah, the griefiest of the grief
Yeah.
game.
So here's my question. What's the saltiest thing you ever did in that game?
Ultima Online had house placements, and it wasn't
Yeah.
like an instant, like a WoW garrison. If some of you WoW players know what a garrison, it wasn't like a house that you had to yourself in your own little instance. It was a house in the actual open world. And when they first started, coming up with the features and the securities behind the houses, basically you could unlock your house with a key. This key was stealable. You could loot it off someone if they died. Like they hadn't made the keychains in the game like a soulbound or insured thing. So I've straight up killed people with other friends for house keys. Stolen houses, stolen everything from players. There's no hacking involved. It's all in-game mechanics.
So they just
I'd be
run
so
through and
pissed. Yeah.
ransack houses, and I remember watching Jay a couple times. People would try to hide things in their house, and Jay would always sniff it out, like, oh, there's something behind this painting or something in this drawer, some random drawer in the corner that they would try to hide. And yeah, it'd be full of jewels. And
The game is so old that there are like scripts and stuff, and that's a whole another topic.